Next event on the track, the women's 800 meters. American record held by Nicole Teeter, who's back, by the way. Hazel Clark holds the NCAA meet record. Twice an Olympian is Hazel Clark. And here are the 8 young ladies who will line up for this women's 800 meters. Notably in lane 3, Alysia Johnson of Cal. She's the defending champion indoors and outdoors at this distance, as well as being a world championship team member last summer.
Dwight, it took a 2:07 to qualify to get in, and this woman did, running 2:06 and change. This is the great Alysia Johnson, who is a high school star, and you're looking now at Gina Gall, who ran 2:05 in high school and a 4:45 mile. It was really one of America's best, and a blue chipper for Michigan.
Her coach, James Henry of Gina Gall, says that when she runs well, you can see it before the race. He said she swells up with confidence, she gets big, the chin comes up, chest out, she struts, exuding confidence to say to her competitors, this is my time. And Dwight, Gina represents the Big Blues' last scoring opportunity tonight.
That's right. That was our coach storyline. And LSU between Johnson and Gall is Latavia Thomas, the sophomore from LSU, the 2008 SEC champion. So the talent is definitely there. Alysia Johnson loves to run from the front and pretty much dares anybody to go around her. Very much the same as Lino Manzano in the mile.
But Dwight, here's the interesting thing in coming up in this race. With a woman with a flower in her hair, that is Johnson. Watch what happens in this race. I talked to her coach, Tony Sandoval, and he said, you know, the goal is for her to make the Olympic team. Last year she made it to the Worlds but ran out of gas. He said the goal is to be strong late. This is only our 3rd meet indoors. We've done a lot of stamina training, not much speed training. I don't know what's going to happen. So she likes to take the lead. She has a chance to come close to doing it. Let's see if she's in first place off this turn.
Johnson was also the Pan Am gold medalist down in Brazil last summer. Had a very, very complete and prolific 2007 season. They go through on just under 30 seconds for the first 200 meters, and Alysia Johnson is in the front, which she normally is.
That's Jessie Carlin from Penn on her shoulder on the outside, who herself has run 2:06. Tightly packed. Everybody can run 2:06 up here. Let's see what they come by the first 2 laps in. This pace is not going to separate anybody. The question is who's got the biggest kick, because the kick will not be taken out of anybody at this pace.
Alysia Johnson leading it through what looks like a pretty pedestrian first 400 meters, 1:01.5. So a lot of run left in these athletes as they're all bunched up, the 8 of them, all of them in contention with 1 3/4 laps remaining.
But Dwight, I would phrase this as a very solid, good pace if they keep this up. That was, I think, faster than I thought it was going to be. And Carlin is pressing things up there. It surprises me. Johnson won't let her inside, though. And Johnson trying to control things. This might portend well for Johnson here, the way she's running it.
Well, you rarely see anybody go by Alysia Johnson the last 2 seasons, and now it's happening with 1 lap remaining, and that might have been something that Alysia Johnson is fine with having. Also, Latavia Thomas of LSU also right back there completely in this race.
That was the slowest of the 3 laps they had run. Now let's see if Johnson's got something. I'm not surprised at Thomas. She's got some speed. Let's see what goes on. Past winner from 2 years ago, that's Heather Dornigan moving up.
And Johnson not looking like she has that much sprint in her, which would match with what you found out from her coach. It's Johnson trying to fight off Latavia Thomas. Gall is out of it. And for Minnesota, that is Dornigan. And Latavia Thomas wins it. Quite a surprise as several athletes go crashing to the track after the finish line. Alysia Johnson, you have to call it an upset on paper, but Latavia Thomas ran a very, very smart race, letting all the racing happening up in front. She just followed and struck when it was most important to do so.
Gall did get up for 4th place. So the lean at the tape. Watch her come from way back on the left of your screen with the M on her chest. And look at Thomas with good stride, good power. Use your arms well when you drive, you youngsters at home watching this. And she gets it, and Dornigan gets 3rd. No, Dornigan gets 2nd place. 2:05.07 for Latavia Thomas for the victory for LSU.